There we go. Desk cleaner sounds funny up there. Howdy, CDs. All right, so back at it. We're chaosifying this night. Last night we ended up at this part. Got the blood letters on, chained up the pilot's compartments, added some skulls. And it's got me thinking I can put some more skulls around here. And I also have that piece went off somewhere. I don't know if I'll find that. I had a wooden spike thing that flew out of my hand somewhere over here, but I didn't think to look for it, so I'm not going to worry about it. No, I didn't. I hadn't planned on unboxing. I mean, I did open it up to grab the rule book out. Wow. Yo, bro, just wanted to show you some real love for your stream because your chin got crazy potential. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, about that. No, I did open it up to get the rules out so I could flip through them and read them. But the, I'm not going to be building anything from this tonight. I gotta finish working on these guys. There's plenty of unboxing videos out there. So if anyone wants to see Armageddon unboxed, better unboxing videos, I'm sure. Anyway, it's going to be adding like skulls and decor, basically skulls and decor to chaosify this night. And then I also wanted to wire. Yes, Queen. It's the Yes Queen. But I think this wire will work. I don't know what we're cleaning. Yes, abominable intelligence begun. That doesn't work. It's smaller wire. Oh, yesify. Okay. And we want to get rid of the creepies. All right. The reason I needed to grab some green wire is I'm going to use that as ways to secure chain. This chain should be able to be fed through this wire. Like that. So I'm going to, good, use this. No, and the bandage still looks okay. Forgot to turn on the fan to keep the flies out of my face. I'm going to use the wire, I'm going to kind of drill it into spots on the chassis so I can loop the chain through and then have the chain being fed from the chassis down to the base. So it should be, do that first actually. I'm gonna secure this person to their base, because this is the one where I'm gonna have to do this different than I have in the past. So I have to all right, thank you for the update, huh? Sharpie. Don't have to get in there with a Sharpie. I got some water left. Grab some black. I can actually attach him to his base now. And then I can get that set, and I can start working on the chains. That's part of the chaosifying, as my wife likes to call it, of the night. Right there. Result of that is now I can put that off and get a gauge for where I need to cut for this brass piece. Okay. Let's use the other knife because I'm going to dull this blade out too much by doing through the cork. I'm going to catch leftovers from the Edmonton Open. It was a big tournament today. No, the last day of the big tournament was today. There was a big tournament today called the Edmonton Open. Noticed that yesterday when I was streaming, there wasn't much, like the Warhammer category had hundreds of viewers. So I was like, oh wow. There's people watching the live stream of the tournament. So now I looked at it and I'm like, oh, there's only, at the time of me setting this up, there was 29. So obviously the tournament's live streaming has ended. It's good. Little robot. 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 Pretty good right there. Nightshade's on early. Can't do a nightshade. Mammoth Music Tributes, I think. Hello there, Mammoth Music Tributes. How be ye? Howdy, Scarecrows. So get yourself a Logan. Mr. Gribnar is a unit of a mini. Mamo is fine. Mano is fine. Thank you, thank you. Are you a long-time fan of the order for me? Nice. Long-time fan of the Warhammers there, Mano, or new into the hobby? No, the words are messing with my head. If you're, let me know what your favorite faction is. Only since about 88. God, good gravies. You have me beat. My experience runs back to 94 when these ugly bugs were the jam. So you're a Smurf lover. Ain't nothing wrong with being a Smurf lover. Very dear friend of mine had an entire chapter. Not chapter, company, not chapter. He had an entire company of Smurfs. I did pick up mine today, so I opened it up and we'll be flipping through this and reading this over this coming week. But yeah. These Chaos Knights, as evident by the Rampager on the rotisserie with blood letters hanging off of it, are Khorne-themed Chaos Knights. But I've been playing Chaos Dwarves since then. For the loyalists, I got the Goth Boys of the Dark Angels. I also run Tyranids with Squiggy Nids, because, yep. And then with the new box, I'll be adding to the Dark Angels with those Marines, and then we're going to start up Orcs. The Orc army is going to be, every unit is going to be themed after an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. So, and this is my Knight Tyrant I'm working on, who I'm doing the base different than I have for the rest. All these bases have been done where I did the base separately, and then did resin pours to make an ice bit, like they're standing on glaciers and rocks and stuff. But I want this one climbing out of it. It's going to be stepping out of the ice. So I'm actually going to pour the resin over this foot, which you can't really see with the resin's going to get poured over this foot here. Everything black here will be under a layer of resin that will be treated to look like ice. I've also given this guy leg extensions and a waist extension to make him extra tall, just because I feel it'd be more fun that way. All right, so I'm going to let that cure up. While that sets properly, we will go back to working on decorating the armor. You know, like all my... You can see it clearly on some of the war dogs with the ice and rocks and stuff, so... I don't know, we'll have... There'll be an Orc T-1000. There's going to be... I already planned out all the units. The Weird Boy is going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger from that movie where he's pregnant, Junior. The Doc and the Grot will be twins from the movie Twins. I'm going to have Commando for the Commandos, Platoon, you know, all that. That's all done. Here's a good example of the ice base. So rocks and snow and stuff, and it's the snackers. He's chopping on stuff in here. Ow, he's also poking the shit out of me. No, it doesn't have to be Arnold. Like for the Gretchen, there's going to be a... Oh, thank you, Mano. There's the Runt Herder with Gretchen. That'll be Kindergarten Cop. They're not going to all be Arnold Schwarzenegger, just Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Why? Because that's the random crap that runs through my head at any given point in time. So, anywho, box of skulls here. I'm going to add more skullage because, unfortunately, the Tyrant only comes in Loyalist flavors. So I need to, where it's called the Castellan, and decorate this up to be traders. Here's my tweezers for grabbing stuff. Absolutely, for shits and giggles. If anyone's a fan of this Get at the Choppas, absolutely going to be part of the thing. That'll be, I'm going to have, I want to get the Battle Force battalion that has the Choppas and the truck and everything. Partly because of Squigs. So I got to do one up as Hercules for the deep cut. And speaking of Squigs, if you are a fan of slice of life comics about an orc and his pet Squig, Orc is all of us. Squig is our dog and her inability to be normal. check out that. Art by Minerva Fox. You can check out Orc and Squig for free on Patreon. And is cute comics that we're always coming up with silly ideas. I'm going to clean up a little bit of sprue cleanup on top of these skulls, and then I'm going to trim the backs off so that they fit better on the tyrant. Armor plates, it is. May I absolutely get into the choppas. They're all going to have their choppas. Yeah, unfortunately, Lulacam is not on. She is sequestered to our bed as she recovers from her tail injury. Because we have an issue where she wags her tail too much and it kept causing the bandage to come off. So she is on forced, relaxed bed rest at the moment. You can see there's nobody in the pillow. Blood Angel 99. Well, Mr. Blood Angel 99, you have the appropriate name for it. Being Blood Angels, and being that the new box is Blood Angels. And truth be told, it is not good for anyone's bank account. That is why it's lovingly known as Warhammer 401k. Because it's a great hobby to get kids into because they won't have any money for drugs or anything else. Yeah, pretty much. That's the sinister motive behind it all. It's all the monies. But you already have the perfect name for it, so you should get in the hobby. And I can't grab the box because I had to set it down over there because it's too damn big. Absolutely. Yeah, took a piece of skin off of that one. And it starts off so innocently. You're like, oh, I'll just get the box. And that's okay. And oh, but that guy looks cool. I'll buy him. Okay. And oh, this model looks amazing. If I don't have his army, I'll just pick this guy up. Okay. And then you get roped into doing custom themed armies where you're adding kits to kits. Like these demons don't come with this. You know, and you're struggling to get new techniques on like how can I make the base look cooler, you know, or and things like that. It's the Chaos Gods. None of us can resist the lure. That is Warhammer math. So CDs was able to convince her wife that buying the Armageddon box set will save you money. And they asked if I did that with you, hon, and I said no. She knows. Now we're attaching skulls. Trimmed the back of these skulls flat so that they'll sit flush on this pieces of armor. We did do the math, and I'm an accountant. You can trust me. Then you'll also be into buying things like, oh, look, you'll find custom printed stuff to add to your models, like, you know, this Anubis head. I really gotta trim that down. Why? Because it looks cool. Nothing more than that. Why? Goodbye now. I do. Well, I now have orcs. I have a whole bunch of orcs chilling over there that I gotta start planning out how to convert them into Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Most of it, I think, could be painted. That is a bumper sticker waiting to happen. If only I knew an artist. This should be creeping her out because she's watching on the TV. Yes, that is exactly what it is. It cost $70K at that point. There's a delay. Oh, that's good. Sorry. I didn't mean to wake up to puppers. Well, you could say it only cost you an additional 10K CDs because you already invested the 30. Yes, that's the ticket. Now you'll run into a problem if she starts getting into the hobby as well. All right, so there isn't a 40K music channel on Pretzel Rocks, who's the free music thing I use. I do know of a 40K heavy metal band, Bolt Thrower, but they're more death metal, so it might be. Not on Pretzel Rocks. I mean, unless you know of one on Pretzel Rocks, I will gladly find it. But I don't know what Pretzel Rocks is a music streaming. You can see right there, just posted in the channel. Pretzel Rocks, that is a music streaming service for streamers, basically. It's nondescript, license for, copyright adjacent music. So I don't get claims. But yes. Flew over here somewhere. I meant to look for it. Totally didn't. So. It's its own thing. Pretzel Rocks is its own series of channels, and basically they license out the music, and then they have an app that you can run that ties in with Twitch and everything, so that I don't have to worry about fighting license issues on Twitch. So I just usually pick some like relaxing guitar or piano stuff because that's what works for me. Chainsaw. Chainsaw can be a good beard comb. Don't recommend that. Chains. Spiky bits. This is extra Chaos Knight pieces because the Chaos Knight kits come with lots of extra bits. More chains. Like a boatload of extra bits. So tempting. Might use that. There's bloodletter blends in here. We got all kinds of stuff in here. Right, so we got these skulls on the parapets. I got the bloodletters on, green stuff in. I got the extra skulls around the front. I think look good. Could do something to cover up that. Do an additional, like, good demon skull that would work. You know, there is a large skull in here somewhere. To something like that. What's we got in here? Let's see what else we got. Maybe that's too big. Big orky skulls. Yes. Yes, absolutely, Blood Angel. So this is my knight. Abominant. There are spikes right here, like right there, and it's one of these shoulder spikes, like one of these ones up on the shoulder pads, that actually drew blood. Actually was bleeding. And then the spikes on the guns, these spikes here are ridiculously sharp too, which is a pain because I gotta remove, when I remove the guns for whatever I need them. No, the chaos stuff, big ones especially, get ridiculously sharp and painful. Go back there, Mr. Abominant. Exactly. Like this one, the Despoiler, was less so because this is technically an Imperial Knight kit that I chaosified up. I added all these spiked bits on here. I added the spikes around and the skulls and stuff. So he didn't have the spikes initially. But yeah, Khorne does not care where the blood comes from. Its Tyrant is also the same way of, this is a, there's a good one. This is a Imperial kit. It's the Knight Castellan kit. Or Knight Dominus. Which I find frustrating because in the book, in the instructions, if I recall correctly, I think they had pictures of it as a chaos one. Is it here? No, it's in the on the data sheets. The data sheet here, you cannot make this with a kit because it doesn't come with that 8-pointed star. Like, I don't know where that doesn't in the model. This isn't included, so you have to do it separate. So I'm using leftover pieces from other knights to do that. And since I have lots of bits, thankfully, we get creative with what we got. Pretty much. And these are also the first Warhammer kits that I did where I magnetized them. Like all their weapons are magnetized. so I can swap them. And that's mainly just because they come with like 8 weapons. Thank you, CDs. Go enjoy the dinner and enjoy your Father's Day with your family. But yeah, the spoiler had so many different stuff on them. The regular knights, I mean, I've got, here's an extra battle cannon that I've got weapons that you can finish painting, desecrator laser, lots of other weapons that need to get painted up. So I do need to paint this one up and the battle cannon for since they changed the points on the spoilers. The double Gatling is kind of expensive now. Nah, it's gonna work. It's not. I like this skull, but use these somewhere else. So pull those out and use those somewhere else. Trying to see if I want to put something right there. It's going to be... I don't know if it's really necessary. I feel like it's going to bug me. It's like this little... there's a gap there on this one. I don't know why that's there. It's just a stylistic thing. Should have used the other carapace piece, but I would have been smart. Sometimes I am not. So I want to cover it with something. I want to cover it with something appropriate. Figure a skull, some variety would do well there. Do a big orc skull right there, maybe. That works. And if you're on the Blue Skies, I post my daily updates there for hobby streaks and things. And all the times I'm not streaming. So, let's see. I'm going to want this position. Trim the jawline a little bit. Yeah, trim the jaw down. That works. Clog that up. Be good at clogging it up today. I also need to use the Elmer's glue on the cork. I just realized I haven't done that yet. It's going to be extra on this because since this base is going to be primered a different color, I'm going to have more of a fight than I have with the other ones. That works. Okay, so we're going to let that. So you're... I should do the magnets. Oh. We can do the magnets afterwards. You are pretty firm on your base. Do you want to do a little more into this foot here, though? foot needs a little bit more love. Right there. This foot I don't have to worry about because that's held in by the pin. Brass dowel that's there. All these guys are pinned down to their bases with brass tubing. Every one of them, just because. Back to writing. Well, if you want more of a distraction, you can tell us what you're writing about. I always love to hear what kind of creative stuff's going to go on. If you want. If it's something like classes or things, something you need to get done, then by all means, don't worry about that. Don't worry about us. 40K fan music. Oh. Well then. Do you have a link? Something I can partake and enjoy? Please. Yes, please. That way, if anyone else here, and then if you have enough to supply a reasonable length of time, maybe I can just license. I wouldn't mind licensing appropriate music. Yeah, baby. Open that link up. Boop. This stuff is free to use. Well then. I might be switching off of Pretzel Rocks. I just subscribed to. I will look into that tomorrow-ish. I stream every Monday, Wednesday. The fuck am I talking about? I stream every Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I don't even know my own flipping schedule. But yeah, if I would absolutely love to have actually themed background music as opposed to just the stuff I'm getting on Pretzel. Well, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I will see how long of a playlist do you have. I usually go for 3 hours at a shot, so if we can if that loops in a reasonable time, I can see making this work out. But I'd have to make sure there's a way to. I'll have to do messages to make sure it links back to your channel, because I will not play something if I can't give you credit. So. That's just on me. I got to give credit to creators. So, alrighty then. Well, thank you. I like that. I'll be tweaking my music shortly. All right. Thank you for stopping by. I like this. All right, so. Now, that's why I do it for fellow fans. Fantastic. I have an idea, since I have this large skull here. I'm going to put the large skull at the front of the base and stab myself with the glue. And you have the chains coming out of the skull. Some chains coming out of the skull up to the knight. If I do it on the edge, that's where I'm going to do this. All right. I'm liking this possibility of music. Ow. Stop fucking staring at me. Just got to trim these teeth down a bit so it sits better. Trim, trim, trim. Better. There we go. So if I put one there, then do this coming out of the eyes. Oh, that would be slick. Okay, that's what I want to do. All right, time to get creative. Those pliers, check. Phone doing things. Because I'm a Spiky Boy fan. I'll pull that one up separately. Ooh, all right. There, Alta. Alrighty, I shall enjoy. Thank you again for stopping by and the follow. Yeah, puts me at 172. Oh, and thank you, Blood Angel. I don't know why. Did that notification pop up and I totally missed it? Am I just being a jerk and I totally missed Blood Angel following me? If I am, I apologize, and thank you for the follow. Okay, so now we're going to need this glue. Because I take a tiny piece of this. You didn't see the notification? I am a jerk, apparently. Yeah, I see it popping up over there, but I didn't. Yeah, I didn't see the. I don't remember the notification coming up. So. Ooh, no. No use of those cutters for cut metal. So the good cutters. Alright. Tweezers. We're doing surgery. Let me scoot everything back a bit. You back there. Move back there. So now I can be on camera. So what I'm doing now is I've made a little, of course the camera's focusing on that. I made a little U shackle basically for the chain to connect to. So I'm going to take this and this little wire shackle is going to get glued on the inside of the skull here. I'm going to loop the chain through, and the chain's going to go through one of the eye sockets. So let's do that first. So okay, so put the chain through. So Demon Slayer. So baby's about the fit to learn how to get himself onto the couch. Dog, who's a tired old lady. Thrilled. That is fair. Happy Father's Day to you, Demon Slayer. So now, okay, so I've looped the chain through the eye socket. Let's see if we can zoom on in here. And there's a mechaform too. Howdy, mechaform. What are you doing this evening? We are doing craziness with chains and stuff. So we'll take a healthy bit of glue. We're going to put this back here. Inside of that. She did. Okay, so I'm going to take this loop. And we're going to loop the high school guys weekend. Sounds like a good time. I'm struggling with this. Okay, so I got through there. Pliers. Pinch. Tweezers go here. The chain through the eye socket. And then we're going to put on another dab of glue in the back of this. Oh, the daughter, while being old enough to understand how not to harass animals, still very much loves them. Loves her puppy. Part of the reason she has sequestered herself in her bedroom for the time being, because the dog needs to not be excited. The dog gets instantly excited when the dog sees daughter. So, there's a Jersey. Howdy, Jersey. We're having a busy night tonight. All right, so I've got, I need this glue. All right, so that's going to set up. So now this chain's going to be coming out of that eye socket. So I'm going to hold this up here. The chain's going to be coming out of the eye socket. And this is going to be attached to the base in the resin for the ice. So this is going to be down here attached to this part of the base. And the chain is going to run up to a part of the body up here. Listen. So that's part of the reason I got my drill out. That's what puppers are supposed to do. And here's what it looks like assembled. I have a bunch of them. It's got little fangs and stuff. I trimmed it down. I can see it being a good duck, though. So now, if there's a spot I could loop this through, would be best. I kind of want to run it right back here. So, because this is the side this gun's going to be right here. So, I need to make sure that it goes down. So, I'm going to want, if I can run it right there. Or I could loop it around one of those. That might actually be a bad idea. I loop it right there. If I run it... So I'm trying to plan out where I want this chain to go. So we're coming up here. The bigger the dog, the more they insist that. So we're looking at... I kind of want it to be taut. I want the chain to be... I don't want the chain to be loose. I want the chain to be tight. So I want it to look like it's... The knight is fighting the chains. Part of what I'm going for. So... Thinking... Okay, see a spot. Let's... Thinking I'm going to run it. I want to do it on that piece because it's more solid. So we're going to run it here. Not put my hand behind the drill bit because that's a dumb thing to do. Yes, let's put my hand right behind the part I'm stabbing with a big thing because all we need is someone else to get stabbed in this house right now. Okay, onto some wire. Take a bit of this, just nip that off. Feed that through. Somewhere is a piece of green wire. There it is. So let's see. It's really sharp and stabbing me. So let's see if we can do it with the pliers. Okay, now that hole needs to be a little bit bigger. This little bit was going to be good. Onto the larger bit. I'm busting out drill bits here, make a form. Hopefully not going to cause you any flashbacks. Does it bump this as camera wiggles? All right, so Squire, we're your glorious history. Yeah, the night houses aren't. Well, some of them are a bit noble, but a lot of them aren't anymore. Okay, so we take. So what we're going to do then is we take. Put a bit of the glue right there. Read that in what? What am I reading in whose voice and the what nows? You want me to read the thing the Demon Slayer put? Is that what you're talking about? Okay. Oh, one second. I gotta scroll up a little. Squire, are you aware of our glorious history? House Ulamon was originally nobility entrusted by mankind to feed the galaxy. Our prestigious and ancient kings were originally farm equipment. Except that was knights. I realized I screwed that up. Now, under the Emperor's grace, we harvest again, but our crop is no longer grain. It is the lives of the enemies of mankind, and our bounty is plentiful indeed. So these are Chaos Knights, so they don't give a shit about that. They're like, fucking kill them all. Well, the corn ones. Kill them all, kill them all. How's the puppy doing? Oh, puppies. Need help? Okay, puppers? And see if she wants some water. Inconceivable. Sorry, we have a slight puppy dog issue at the moment. Okay. Okay. All right, so we got the skull down here. We're just gotta kind of force it to really get a solid bond with the base. So, Pupper's tail has been in and out of the vet constantly past 2 days because the bandage kept falling off. Stitches came out. We had lots of bleeding. Bandages kept getting replaced. Bandages falling off because her tail is very active. So now they're trying to do stuff to make it less active, make her less active. But so no, I did not. I wonder if she'll take one. Yeah, that is almost off completely. to the point where we spent a large portion of the day at the vet getting things. That's pretty much why Monster Truck is in her room, is that we need to keep dog not excited. The dog gets excited when daughter is out about. So daughter's staying in her room as a way to interact less with the dog to keep things calm. So yeah, that was something we had. She is on a sedative and pain med, so hoping that the combo of that will be enough to keep her relatively inactive. But sorry, look at that. The skull's gotta get firm on there before I do anything. Problem we run into is that her, even with being on sedatives, she still manages to get the bandages off. And she's not picking at it, she's wagging her tail. The abominable intelligence cut into somebody. Alright, so to take this is the link I need to remove and open up. Got this. Got length. It needs to go. Hey, hun, I'm honestly thinking I'll take her to the vet after a stream, because that bandage isn't going to stay on tonight. So now we got to feed the chain through the wire put up there. I don't know how much I trust that, but if it's potentially a way to get more people to save their lives, then so be it. I keep dropping this chain. If you want, you've been taking her all day. Gravy, this is tough. You know, I'll be fine. Pretty much. It's kind of what I'm picturing in my mind. Challenge right now. There we go. I can believe it. All right, so that is what it's going to look like. As long as this holds, and that's got a set. Oh, Hun, can you call them and say, hey, this is, it's the, because there's that bandage already looks like it ripped and it's slowly sliding down her tail. Just explain what's going on. Thank you. What I'm doing is I'm putting on a thin coat of glue on the chain itself to stop it from being flappity. Just lets it set more. So I don't want the chain flopping around. Okay, so that's... I'll just let that sit and not touch for a minute. Once it's solid, then I'll be able to bend this little piece over here. There's a piece of wire right there that the chain's looped on. Right here, this green wire. So once this is set up, then I'll be able to tweak that over a little bit and trim it down. But that's the look we're going to have for that side. The chain, now this is going to be in resin, so this will be under the ice basically. And you've got the skull with the chain coming up. And I'll have all this painted, and I'll paint up the skull and do stuff to it as well. So I think that turns out pretty good. Like that. So should give a pretty unique look. Okay, now I want to do chains on other side as well. But if you're where I want this chain to go. So think of where do I want the chains on this side? Coming out of the skull like they are in that one. What I'm going to do is put a thin coat on this side as well. Just to make it really not move, because I don't want it to move in the slightest. The what now? Okay, they said just... Right, Lula, stop. Do you need help? Okay. Question maybe I would know. Space Marines that have the chains around their arms. Oh. I might get a Caiaphas Cane. I don't know if I'll order. I might just wait for him to come in. The Marines you're talking about are Death Watch. Death Watch? Yeah, Death Watch kill team. Death Watch, they're kind of a penance thing. So they sometimes will do the chains and stuff wrapped around them. It's more of a vibe than anything else. Third time today, the dog has gone back to the vet. They keep doing different techniques to hold stuff on her tail because they can't make it tight because it'll cut off circulation. And that's an issue we encountered, is it already cut off circulation on her tail. It is absolutely a possibility. Some like Black Templars are known to have their weapons chained to their hands, so that way if it gets knocked out, they could still get to it. That's an easy way to be like, oh, why does he have a chain? Chained his axe to his hand, so that way he wouldn't lose it. Simple as that. Like that, there is that avenue of it as well. So thinking for this chain, going to, and Death Watch is any chapter. Death Watch is not non-chapter specific. They're all chapters. Chain it to that right there. That will work. It's all over. mean, Titus is an Ultramarine. He's got the chains. So, if the Smurfy boys can have it, anybody can have it. Titus is also built different. He's built to be a chapter master. I will bet money Calgar is going to eat it, and Titus will take over. But that's just me. I mean, it's Scarecrows. You don't have to worry about like lore or anything on it. If you want to do it because you think it looks cool, fan-fucking-tastic. I mean, there is nothing about bloodletters coming out of... There's nothing about bloodletters getting shot out of a multi-melta. But I did it because I think it looks cool. Simple as that. You had a fun headcanon moment to enlighten me. Yeah, I think it was... Absolutely. The rule of cool will transcend all things. Are we talking ties from first game or second game? Because you're supposed to hate Leandros. Second game, alright. So is that Chiron or Torian, I think? I can't remember. That would absolutely create some stuff, but I know what would happen. The clone Primarch would get released, and they would sit there and rock, paper, scissors on who gets to deal with the paperwork. Bam, bam, bam. That's what would happen. They'd have to rock, paper, scissors to... You get to deal with the paperwork. No, you get to deal with the paperwork. You get to deal with the paperwork. Okay, take that's over there. Do I have a pepper skull? That's another question. Let's go through my battlefield trophies thing. Because I did completely empty this one out. Chiron's one that I think is now a mini. Because the other one that's... Ooh, I do have the dead Space Marine. I could use that. Okay. Can I make that work? Pretty much. So in the battlefield trophies box, you get this dead Marine thing that you can put on a base. I wonder if I can make the chain come out of this. Let's see if I can make this work. Do I have enough space? Kind of, sort of right there. I could do it like that. Okay, so if I take this debt, so I've got this marine torso corpse thing. It's flat and it's meant to go on a base. So thinking if I drill out the skull, have the chain go through this, and I can glue it to the back, like I did with the other bits. Let's make this as ridiculous as possible. So that's what I'm going for. Make sure not to put my hand behind the drill bit, because let's see. Need is more members of this family being injured. Okay. Leany bot, go. Gray hunters. That would be an interesting thing. Yeah, you are not under any expiration. Oh, we're talking about the clone. You're not under any time frame for getting these done. So take your time. You should be enjoying the process. Crafting burnout is a very real thing. I know myself, I've suffered it a bit. I have to find new ways to keep it exciting, and that way I don't. That way I'm still motivated to do stuff. A little bit more. Yep. I like to have them done before the Armageddon box. That's fair. You know what? I do not. I've seen them. I know our store does the painting contest. We have a mini of the month thing going on. I keep missing them. Like there's one I was like, oh, I'm going to do this one. And then I realized the day was, I'm like, I have no chance of getting there that day. Or was it like Adepticon weekend? And I'm like, well. And then the last one, I didn't see what the model was or the contest was. So I didn't get in on that one. This one, depending on what it is. Because that's the hang up is some of them it's like, oh, it's a model I don't have ready. And I don't want to stop working on my knights to do something else. So I've been actively trying to make sure I focus and get these guys done. Now for power tools. The nice thing is the vet we keep taking the puppy to has not been charging us. Oh yeah, I'm a Harbor Freight bitch. And this little guy has been abused in fantastic ways and still works just fucking fine. can't really see it. Well, you can kind of sort of see it right here. I've got the little toolbox. The US General desk toolbox. I know so many people that hate on their stuff, and it's like, good lord. Use their stuff for lots of things, honestly. Some people just, it's like, you know, it's cheap. It's got to be horrible. No, not really. There are ways around price. Get this. Just snap. It's fair. Well, you feel better about snapping that one as opposed to snapping a like snap-on version of that. Imagine that price point. Snap-on would have replaced it. And I think Harbor Freight would have too. It takes up there. Yeah, sure. I knew the motorcycle shop we had. One of our best mechanics just had whatever tools he could get, and he did it well. And one of our like major, like, I'm the premier mechanic, had fucking probably $250,000 in fucking Snap-on. Excuse me. There we go. Got it through. All right. Okay, so that's coming out of his head. That's good. So then I need to take this. Blow that everywhere on myself because I'm an idiot. Soupy, 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 soupy. Soupy, soupy, soupy. All right. Check that. Let's do this. Do I have my mushing tool? I do. Here. Okay. So that one's firming up. This one's doing all right. Digging that with the chain coming out of the skull. I think that looks nice. It's pretty good up there. So we got pliers. Just a bit. Push it in. Okay. Glue up there, firm it up. All right. Okay, so that is pretty set, that front chain. On this back chain, I'm going to run it through this like little loop here, which is there. Like, why not? I'll continue to take this, and this is going to get painted. Okay. Pepper's waiting. To get this around. Unfortunately, I got to use this glue, not the cement, because this is going onto the cork. So it's going to stick to my hands a bit. Put it right down there. I'm just going to hold that there for a minute. Do a good chant. See that. 2 flat stairs. Cat has brand. Pupper update is Pupper's at vet. They are waiting to be seen. It's a 24-hour emergency vet that we know and they like her, and so I've been seeing her all day today. So we'll get updates as we go. That's the link. To our plan. I'm just going to feed this wire through link here. Drop the chain. Let's zoom in a little bit so people can maybe even see what I'm doing. Be a novel fucking idea, that. All right, so we feed this wire through. We're going to run it up to, say, that link. To that one. Come on. Why are you not working with me here? Push this down a little bit. That one will be a little bit. A good way to gauge at scarecrows is look up the 10th edition launch, 10th edition codex releases. And you can see when, like, okay, if Space Wolves was one of the first codexes out, it's probably going to be one of the first codexes out. If it was when the last codex is out, then it's probably one of the last codexes out. So that's part of the reason I wasn't worried about picking up the Chaos Knight Codex, even though the new 11th was coming up. Because I'm having such a struggle with this. Chaos Knight Codex was one of the last ones they released. And they're not exactly a very popular army. So I wasn't too worried about that. About picking it up. Because it's currently still 100% usable. So there's just been some erratas. It's really tough. Mid to late release. So Space Wolves will be summer, potentially around mid to late 11th. All that means is you can feel safe picking up the Codex now. If you want to pick up the current 10th Codex. So yeah, I think you got, because once you pick up the Codex, then you just scan the code, and then you'll have access to everything in the app. So okay, it's a bit of a more of a struggle than I needed it to be. So we're gonna run with that link right there. Not with those. These. This. Just drop something. I don't know what it is. I'll grab it momentarily. After I open up that link. What is it that I dropped? Hit my leg, it bounced down. Somewhere down here, something I dropped. I feel like it was a piece of a chain or a skull. In fact, I think it's a skull. I think I see it. Nope. That was another piece of skull. I'll find that, whatever that was. It's not an armor plate, is it? Armor plate, crash plate, chest plate, thigh plates. Okay, we're good. Okay, so it goes there. It goes there. I think I see what it was. It was one of those. I'll find that when I step on that and get the plastic inserted into my foot later. That's absolutely going to happen. All right. Sorry, this is not the most exciting stream as I struggle bus with chaining a knight together. Need more bigger than that. This through first. I need a camera angle over here. Looking down, so in situations like this, where it's hard for me to get the top-down view to work, because I only have two hands. Okay. Loop that around, hold it in place. See, that's loose. Needs to be tight. So get all those pliers time. Oh, I fully agree. I've got one. I use one for my crafting tools. Okay. Update on the puppy. They are now seeing her, which is good. All right, so there is the chain for the back. I just got to do glue on it. So it is, I don't know if you can see how much we can see it. It is coming out of focus. Focus, we're going to focus. We're going to struggle. About there. So it's coming out of this Space Marine Corpse's eyeball, because reasons, and is getting looped up to here. So okay. So now we're going to secure the chain in this spot. Not a fan of that. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so now take the glue, coat it there. And then put a paper thin meat worth of glue up and down the chain to keep it from moving. When the wait for thin meat. And there. Yeah, this brush, this glue is great. Okay, so now we got 2 chains done so far. Might do more. We'll take a moment and look. Take a drink first. 49. Chili. All right, so here's where we're at. I think that looks pretty good. Like 2 chains running up to the chassis. Might want to do a third. What if I do a third here? Want to do a third chain, or is the 2 enough? Now, if I'm doing a third chain, I got to figure out what it's going to come out of. You have sound muted. Okay. Diabug. Chasing bugs. Do I want to do a third chain? I'll think about this one. Okay, so about that. Dry up a bit. So then back to, so you're for the most part done, I think. Chains up there, we're good on that. I did have this chain sword. Could put it on the bottom of the volcano lance. Maybe. Okay, that I like. We're going to glue these. These are the chains from a carnivore. So we're going to put them. Let's move things around. I'm going to grab by the banner. Let's move this plasma over there. Volcano Lance. Chains off over here. Okay. Let's put some tools away before I start losing stuff. Like the, maybe that's what I dropped. There's a cover for my, super sharp tweezers, which would make sense. I can stab myself with the tweezers. Because I don't see. I bet that's what I dropped. It's the glue. Don't need that. Drill bit and go back. Alright. Put you away. These super sharp tweezers over here. Knock something over down here. Put that away. Alright, so I kind of like the idea of this chains going on the end of the volcano lance here, so do that. I'm liking that idea. The server function, not in the slightest. Other than it looks cool. That is what we like. A little cool. Okay, that works right there. Put a bit of glue here. The glue's going to get clogged up because I haven't used it in a few minutes. Clogging item. Clogging needle. Get that cleared out. All right. Not set myself. Okay, put that there. Just gonna hold this for a moment. Okay, so that'll be. Oop. Should probably let it actually fully bond before doing stupid shit like that. Try to show it off. Okay, so we're sitting here and hold this for a moment. So we're gluing chain decorations onto the Brimstone Volcano Lance, which is the probably the most powerful weapons, range weapons I have for Chaos Knights. Strength 20, 60-inch range, I believe. 72, sorry. Oh, no, that's the missile launchers. 60-inch range, D3 attacks, hits on 3s or 2s, depending if on how things are for Battle Shock. So with that, that to sit there. Yeah, this is the Brimstone Volcano Lance. Get away from me, bug. 16-inch range, D3 attacks, 3 ups, strength 20, AP minus 5, and D6 plus 8 damage. Better hope you got a vulnerable, because that is going to cook. If it hits. And I can always roll ones. Never doubt the ability to roll ones. I've done that many, many, many times. And this is the plasma, which is ectoplasmic destructor, I believe. Decimator. Ectoplasma decimator. 36, D6 plus 3 attacks. Strength 8, AP minus 3, damage 2, or I overcharge it for strength 9, AP minus 4, damage 3s. So, but we need to gasify this up too. So let's see what we got. Got some chain decorations I can use from more War Dog stuff. So let's come down in the Chaos War Doggy bits. Got to trim out that little piece right there. And trim out that little piece right there. Forgot to turn on the fan. So we're going to take a tab of glue. Go. Just glue on some spiky, chainy decorations. Things to make this look more chaosified. Yesified. That's what my wife was wanting to say. It's very Diablo sounding music. Just doing lots of little decorations and stuff because I keep telling my wife the devil's in the details. The more little things like this you put on, the more it looks like it's meant to be. People don't even realize that my twin Gatling despoiler wasn't a chaos kit. Let's look at all the spikes and the skulls. Why can't I put that on there? Because why not? But you got the bits. You got the bits. Not to use these pieces. You got these weird little vulture things I could throw on. Put one of those on there. Why not? Let's decorate it up. I thought you were set, but you were not. Let's hold that for a moment. Okay, let's see. Will that stay on its... Nope. Okay. I think you're pretty set now. That's good. Let's run your laser up there. That works well. The chain's coming off of it. Plasma looks good with the chains coming off of that. Okay, let's... So after this guy, I have 2 more to build, which are war dogs. So they'll be much, much faster. There will be set up as war dog executioners, which are the war dogs with the 48-inch autocannons. I think broke our its foot. Another 2. So it'll be the. I got 2 of those. Unfortunately, those are only. They don't come in the in the War Dog kits. You have to use the armatures, which are the Imperial variant. And then just castify them up like I'm doing right now with this guy. So they'll be adding lots of spiky stuffs to that one too. I think they'll get leftover War Dog heads, spiky decoration bits to work that out. Man, just keep snapping right off. All right, you're too brittle. I'm gonna knock you off. You don't want it to be brittle on both. Ooh, another chain piece. Don't want to use all those ones. I do have the War Dogs to work on. Let me check in this box. This is lots of leftover night pieces that I have yet to pull out and put in the boxes. So I've got any spikes on here I want to grab. Lots of the birds. Lots of birds and branches, but no spiky spikes. So that's just tubes, and that's the Melta, which I need to build and set up as a Melta. Shield, more spikes on that one. No extra spikes on that one. I think I used them all. How about you? No, you're just a bunch of masks. No extra spikes on you. You don't have spikes, so. Off to fishing through other bits bins to find stuff I want. Because I want this game to be more chaosified. This one should have some stuff I can probably use. This is Chaos Dwarves pieces, but chains. Might use that whip for something. Just had an idea. Use some of these spears. All right, that's what we're gonna do. You got spear bits, so my bad idea is, first off, let's just secure that back there so it doesn't fall. Secure that back there so it doesn't fall. And magnets. So I've got these spears from my Chaos Dwarves. I'm almost thinking I'm going to... I can put the spears into what'll be the rock. Like, drill them down into this cork here. Cut off the armor, of course. And then have the chains running from the spears. I can have 2 of these spears, like, into the cork here. And then run another chain up to, like, right around this knee. That'd be kind of fun. Alright, so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to get creative. So we'll just get that off there. And that off there. 2 different lengths of spears. Save my arms because I use these for other stuff. Kind of Lanthalon gining this. Lanthalon ginus. I'll just, I don't know. One from Evangelion that they're like, it's the lance of so-and-so's. And it's the Lanthalon ginus. So, alright. To take the other knife. Try and keep this in focus, but I don't know how well it's going to do. Into the cork. Work around a little bit. Okay, work this little guy. Okay. So now we're going to take, should be able to insert that spear right in there. Works pretty well, actually. So we're going to take a bit of super glue. Spear is definitely going poke. And we're just going to put a dab of that down there. Sorry that this is not in focus. Camera's pulling focus on the top parts rather than the part underneath here, but that's to be expected. Okay. Just work that around there real quick. All right. So now we've got camera's doing exactly what it's programmed to do. It's focusing on a specific item. But so now I've got the spears right there. Stabbing, and then this is all going to be covered in this textured stuff, Lunar Desert. So it's going to be covered in that, and that'll help cover up any bits that look a little wonky. So, all right, we're going to lay that guy down like that for the moment. Put that away before I hurt myself. I'll take a quick pause because I do need to take my medications for the evening. Doctor's appointment soon. Gotta take my meds. Reminds me I have a doctor's appointment coming up. Okay. Wife and dog are returning home. Puppers is coming back to us. Probably new bandages on her tail. For like the 4th time today. 2 destructive tail. But anyway, so this is, so Spear's there. Yeah, I don't know if you heard Nightshade. She's been in and out of the vet a ton today. I think this is her 4th trip. Basically, the bandage keeps coming off. And the stitches are out, but it keeps opening up because she keeps, you know, she's so aggressive with her tail that we can't stop her. And the bandages just don't stay on. So it's just been this whirlwind of craziness. Like, oh, bandage is coming off. And the vet's like, just bring her back. The moment the bandage comes off, just bring her back. So we're like, okay. She actually has an appointment with a regular vet tomorrow to inspect everything. But I swear they've looked at that, her tail so much today. Because they're like, it's kind of an open wound. It will heal. But we've got to let it heal, and that's the hard part is dog being dog. You know, she's having a hard time letting it heal. So, These chains, I'm going to glue kind of around the base of this spear down here. I don't want to feed it like that. So, go with. So yeah, it's been a poor pup here. She has been very, very good and very patient. The fact that she keeps having to go back to the vet. I feel so bad. Okay, so we're gonna run like that with the chains. Then I almost think maybe I could run it up to around there. No, it's gonna be the way the armor plates. I gotta make sure I don't block. Am I gonna block that armor plate? No. Okay, that armor plate is clear. That's one thing I do. I gotta make sure I'm not blocking any of these armor plates. So chain comes up. We kind of wrap it around this. That works. So, just planning this out. Let's run this up here. Yep. And we got another abominable intelligence. Ban. They're always trying to get me. Exactly. Now I do need to make sure that if I do it there, will this be able to get put on? My question. Okay, should be good. Okay. Make sure that clears. Nope, those are the good ones. So take it about here. Yeah, all right, we got 2 bots today. Must be getting extra popular. It's the garage opening. His wife within proximity of the house. I get lots of noises coming from my phone. I also have a light that's doing weird things above me. Could I cross it? No. Love this movie. The Chicago way, not off the top of my head. But then also my memory is shit on a stick, so got a lot of head injuries. That's the garage closing. Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Dog is back with new bandage around tail. Hopefully this one will hold a little bit longer, at least for an evening. It's the hope. Kind of like that better. Poor puppy. And truthfully, Scarecrow's Sean Connery says things usually sounded better than anything I've ever said. Except the, "You're the man now, dog." That line was pretty bad. Put that there. Will this interfere? Touchables. I wonder if I wrap it around the back, would it work better? I'm trying to plan this last chain I want to attach. So right there, through. She might be not bad. I can kind of loop it up here. Touchables. Been a long time since I've seen that. Good movie, though. She's running over to the dish. She's trying to drink water. Take the cone off for a moment. Right there. This will be the right spot. So we're going to. Okay. Yeah, favorite Connery movie. That's a good question. I still don't know. Don't know which one would be my favorite Connery movie. I suppose some of the old James Bond stuff. I'm still adding CDs. Adding chains now. Well, Last Crusade, that was good. I like Hunt for October, but I can't stand Connery being Connery in that one just because it's like the worst Russian accent ever. Keep this. Do something here. We're going to experiment on getting this chain to attach. And take a link from another piece. Let's see if I can bend it off. I mean, I can bend them off, but I can get the link loose and then get it attached around and secure it. Can I do this? That's the next question. Will this work? Or take that link, loop it there. What's America's thing? It's feisty. Absolutely fighting this one right now. All right, I'm trying to feed one of these links through like that. And then I'm going to feed it through chain here. Got that there. Get the pliers that I can clamp this shut with. Tighten it there. There we go. All right. That took a lot more effort than I thought it was going to take. So that is chain number 3. This one's running from these spears down here up to back in the back of that arm. So it's behind this gun. So it'll be good that way. And then it'll be underneath the carapace. Kind of hide things. Yep. There we go. That worked out well. All right, so take the gun off. Try not to break that. That's there. To firm up. So now we need to take panels off. I don't accidentally glue something together that shouldn't be yet. Because I don't want to glue any of these things. Shouldn't need that back. Glue any of these things together yet, because I will paint them, glue them separately and paint them that way. Alright, so way. So we can it's just a little loose. I gotta first need to take this front spear bit down here. Going to go a little heavy-handed with that there. We're just going to kind of pull it down into that spot. Just going to hold it for a moment. So we're sit here and that's my hand is slipping. Okay, that's holding already. Okay. Almost spilled glue. Almost. Just got a little bit of it on my hand. That ain't nothing new. Did get a little bit on the model though. You're not supposed to be down here, puppy. Maybe just see if she'll sit on the couch with you. At the moment, no, you cannot pet that dog, CDs. Because, I know you're doing that. Can I pet that dog? But, she has to not wag her tail. Which is a major, major issue for this dog. Yeah. We're having a nightmare of a time keeping the bandage on. Because her tail is, we like to call it a destructo tail. It is a force of nature. And thus, it's, the bandages from her tail injury keep coming off because she's just having a hard time, fighting her nature. So we've been to the vet 5 times today, and 3 times today, 2 yesterday. Okay, so 5 times this weekend with bandage issues. So that is a fight we have right now that we're working on, and we're just it's no good. So yeah, it is no good. We're working on. Anyway, at the moment, it's hard to see, but I am running the thin layer of glue over the chain, because I've got it somewhat secure in the position I want it to be in. And this just helps stiffen it up and make it not flopping around, because I don't want it to flop around to be loose. Because I don't like that. It causes it to throb on paint, things like that. So I need to... There's a good girl. There we go. We can do that, actually. There's a puppy. Hi. She's looking at me right now. So I sit. She's directly in front of me. Yeah, you can see her yellow bandaged up tail. There you go. That was a good puppy. Just gotta take it easy. You know, it's not her in her nature to do that. So right now I'm holding the chain while I wait for the glue to set a bit. Down bottom of the chain. So I think that's where I'll leave it chain wise. I think these three will be good. I got spears, got one coming out of a marine, I got one coming out of... Hello, Vanzig. That is where the chain is from. From Michael's. I have like a 10-yard roll because this is the smallest thing I can get. I'll show you in a moment, but there's... Now I'm on my third chain securing this guy down. I'm just holding it. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. The only thing is two things to keep a note. Is the spool likes to unspool and potentially make a giant mess. And then you need a really good set of like pliers so you can twist the links to get it open. All right, so here's what we got. So we got one chain coming out of this skull thing's eye and running up here to that spot there. I got another chain that I just finished where it's held in by a pair of spears and then it's running up to the back here on the chassis. And the last chain, it's going to be hard for it to focus, is using the, oh, there we go, the Marine Corpse from the Battlefield Trophies box. I enlarged the hole around the eye, and then it's running up to the back of the leg. So, now these chains I had to do before. I'm attaching them to the base, so I needed to do them while the model's like attached to the base. Normally I would have waited until I keep the model off the base and paint them all separately, especially with the resin pour that this is going to have. But I've already picked up some extra tools and things so I can do the resin pour with the guy on the base. Also partly because this foot here is going to be in the ice. The ice is going to be slightly like it's stepping out of it. It's going to be cracked up and such, so... That is that. Mostly done. Let's see how the weapons are holding up. That's pretty good. Added just some leftover decoration bits on the plasmic. And then we got the, this is from leftover from a war dog on the front for the volcanic decimator. Turn off Lula Cam since she left. So, what else do I want to do as far as chaosifying this guy up? Or yassifying is not being told. Kind of like that, but Not sure. Do I have... If I can make it work with some of the arm pieces. Okay, find these. We got these little fuel tanky things. For another shoulder joint thing to attach this. It should be in here somewhere. Gotta dig and dig and dig and find the right parts. Let's see, do it. Will that even work? Do I want that to be? Kind of like that, but I don't think it's gonna work. Yeah. So it's all of the chaos bits. So I still have the actually it might just be about it. So I still have the 2 armatures that I need to build into more chaos, into more war dogs. Goes in there. Got just this piece here, I think. It's... I'm kind of think I'm pretty much done with what I'm going to get done tonight. Yeah. That's where I'm going to be for the night, because realistically, I want to keep... What's I want to do? See, I've got... First, that's going to be done with decals. Got the chains and everything I wanted on here. So. It's not Legends. That land speeder absolutely is not in Legends. Because I don't have it here, but... If you give me 1 second. So anyway, the reason I got up real quick is grabbing this from the Armageddon box, which is the data sheets. So everything in here is current. That's New Recruit. New Recruit might not have all the stuff, but Landspeeder. Absolutely not in Legends, because this is from the Armageddon box. So New Recruit might be slightly out of date. And they're working it out, but the Landspeeder's... Here's the Landspeeder. So this is from the box. So maybe they have it labeled as something different. I'm not sure. But here you are. This is from, 14-inch move. 3 save, 1 design. That's not bad. I do like the purgation. That I don't know, because that's in the app. Let's see. Because they won't have the points on the it's the Dark Angels. Smurfs. Space Marine. Data sheets. Speeder. 95 points. Per the current app, they are 95 points. For the first one. Second one is an additional 10. So. Anywho, so with that, I'm sure I'm going to call it a little bit early tonight. It's been a very rough weekend, and I can't really get much more done on this guy at the moment, because realistically, I got to start painting. So if I'm able to tomorrow, if I'm able to prime, weather dependent, I'll prime it, and then we'll start the painting tomorrow. Otherwise, I probably will work on the armatures and get those 2 guys built up as my next bit of War Dogs. But that'll be tomorrow. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you for the new follows. And I'll have to check out Mano's music. And that might be by New Stream Music. So with that, we will always put that up there. I will catch you all another night, and have a good one.